What's going on, Omnibuddies? Mitch here, and today we are looking at a book I have been waiting for since I literally started reading comics again, really actually getting into the hobby. I started reading this book about 10 years ago when I got into the hobby, and I dropped off after about issue 10 or so, and I have been waiting for this collected edition for nearly 10 years, nearly a decade now. I am so excited to finally have it in hand and to have read it. We are looking at Chris Dingus's Manifest Destiny. All right, so like I said, I am so stoked to finally have this book in hand. It's the volume 1, the first half of the Manifest Destiny series. I absolutely cannot wait for Manifest Destiny volume 2 because man, is this book freaking awesome. The story by Dingus is amazing. The art by Roberts is outstanding, and the coloring by Guinea, I think that's how you say his name, is just friggin' awesome. Man, this book is so good, and Image and Skybound did an amazing job on this book. So you know what? I'm gonna stop talking about it and, well, talking about it like this, and let's talk about it some more and why it's so cool. So this is Manifest Destiny Book 1. This book collects the first half of the series, which is issues 1 through 24, and this comes to us from writer Chris Dingus, artist Matthew Roberts, inkers Stefano Guidiano and Tony Atkins, and colorist Owen Gianni. This was originally published through Skybound, and now it is a part of Image Comics. So this is a beautifully collected library edition scaled book, really well bound, really well printed. The page thickness, the paper quality is all that classic Image hardcover graphic novel quality that you have come to expect. These 24 issues collect 4 chapters overall in this series. Chapter 1, Flora and Fauna. We have Chapter 2, Amphibia and Insecta. Chapter 3, man, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Chiroptera and Corniformes. And then we have Chapter 4, Sasquatch. Really what Manifest Destiny is following the alternative history approach of Lewis and Clark as they are traveling west. You meet tons of great characters along the way. One of them is a central character you might recognize, Sacagawea, and she is a BA in this story. She is not only their guide, she is their protector, and she knows what's up and how to get through and survive in this world. While this starts as a traditional exploration book and you kind of get the, Lewis and Clark and out there on their boats and traveling down the river with these high lofty goals of charting new territories and exploring new lands and making peace with the natives, it quickly devolves into craziness, into much more than what you were actually led on to believe with what the mission really was and what the people on this mission were led to believe, until you start diving deeper into the motivations and the actual goals of Lewis and Clark and why they were sent and chose to go on this mission. This is told through a series of flashbacks and character reveals, through dialogue and things of that nature. Not only is this overarching story happening, but you have these 4 chapters that are happening along the way where they meet up with different characters, different lands, and really different monsters, and each monster fits the tone of that chapter, so you can kind of guess by some of them, and you can see by obviously some of the art in here what these monsters are. Very interesting stuff, pulling from old folklore to stuff I have never heard of before, might also be old folklore or not. Obviously Sasquatch is one of those pieces of legend that is very big out here, at least in the Pacific Northwest. I want to believe, I do believe, just because it's fun. Anyways, this series is an amazing, amazing take, has some really great heart. You obviously see some horrific things, so if you're not into gore or anything like that, you might want to shy away from this series. But this series is so fun. It's so full of adventure and great character development, and I gotta say, on top of all the great writing and character development, the art is just freaking awesome. I love the way that the monsters are rendered, the land and the landscape are just so well done. They just pull you in, they suck you into these stories, and they are so well supported by a great story with great art and really well done colors that just pull the whole thing together. It definitely is my book of the year, and this series is one of my absolute favorites of all time. I've been waiting for this for so long. It's so fun to finally see how this all ends. Well, the first half ends, and really, I'll say not much about the ending, but the ending is so cool in that I was not expecting it to start going in that direction. I don't even really want to say what that direction is beyond monsters, but it definitely takes a turn that I wasn't expecting. It does lead you into that as you are reading. It starts to allude to it early on, and you start to piece things together until the full impact really hits in the last parts of the book. It is so well done and paced so well that I just tore through this book. I'm not normally a really fast reader where I can read 24 issues in a few days, but this book proved me wrong. I can read that fast because the story was that good. If you haven't read it before, pick it up because from soup to nuts, this book is phenomenal. All right, so that was a quick overview of Manifest Destiny Volume 1. Man, it's so good. Such a cool ride. And you know what? Like, I am such a huge fan of alternative history where they take like things that you kind of knew, the characters, the storylines and arcs and all that, and taking them and making them something different. I am such a huge fan of that. Really love it. Really love how this turned out. It started off as like monsters and interesting things like that, and quickly devolved into lots of other stuff that I wasn't expecting. So super cool. If you haven't checked out Manifest Destiny, jump on board. Freaking awesome book. But that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, do all those things. But the most important thing to do, I say every time, is comment. Let me know your absolute favorite alternative history book is. What's out there that kind of puts a twist on history from the graphic novel perspective? Let me know in the comments. Love talking with you all. All right, take care. Stay cool.